so much for the Washington, D.C. ANI chapter for hosting this incredible event, and thank you all for coming out and supporting. My name is Ankeru Yanimar, and I'm a proud member of the Washington, D.C. ANI chapter. I joined AYF on February 20 of last year, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Another one of the best decisions I've ever made is participating in the AYF internship program this past summer. And I'd like to speak a little bit about my experiences in Hayastan. So, it is an unwritten rule. The summer of your first year of law school, you're supposed to intern somewhere. You're supposed to gain some sort of legal experience. January of my first year, I heard my fellow classmates in our group chat typing very proudly, I just secured an internship with a federal judge. I just secured an internship with a tax attorney in LA, and I just could not bear the thought of interning with a tax attorney in LA over the summer when instead I could be in Hayastan, instead helping out in any way I can. So, I ended up securing an internship with the Armenian Legal Center, who is currently working with the International and Comparative Law Center. The director of the International and Comparative Law Center is Siranush Sahakyan, and who is an international human rights attorney. And I had the pleasure and the honor of working directly with her to file lawsuits and cases against Azerbaijan regarding the illegal detainment of over 200 POWs that are being tortured and abused by Azerbaijan till this day. I spent my entire time working with entities like the European Court of Human Rights, the European Union, the European Council, and the UN, the Special Rapporteur, and of course the Human Rights Defender of Armenia. One major project I worked on was a report that was recently published, and it included interviews with 40 repatriated POWs and 10 civilian captives. All 50 survivors testified to abuse and torture every single day, including deprivation of food, water, and medical services. Another major project I worked on was doing investigative research and evidence analysis of identifying Azeri soldiers and Armenian POWs to help with this report and to help secure justice for these individuals. One major issue I had was I could not stop crying at work, as you could imagine. I had a very hard time going to work for 10, maybe 11 hours every day and coming home to excursions and tours, and it felt like I was living in two different realities. But the AYF internship program, with their slogan, connecting you to our homeland, which by the way is a vast understatement, helped me merge those two realities. I ended up having talks on our balcony with my fellow interns at 1 a.m. of what being Armenian means. With our group of interns, we drove to Mevri and back in one day, which I don't recommend, but I don't regret either. I spent a day at camps with Armenian youth. I connected with the Hemadans in Hayastan, where we talked about tactical approaches of how we can save Hayastan, what we can do, and how we could be most productive to help our homeland. And with these connections and bonds, I learned a few things. One phrase I heard my dad always say is, yes, Hayastan chemtsinde, but Hayastan im nechatsinde. And after this summer, I really understood what that meant. Another thing I learned was what it means to physically be in one place and to have your heart and soul be in another. And I'm sure you can imagine where I physically am and where my heart and soul is. But one thing I can tell you, and the advice that I learned, is that every Armenian has a role to play and a way to contribute to the homeland. Find it, explore your options, and do as much as you can. because right now, with internal and external forces against us, Armenia as a nation needs us now more than ever. Thank you so much.